everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 234. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're a new viewer, thanks so much for checking out the podcast. This is a podcast about knitting, spinning, hand-dyeing yarn, sewing, and making all the things in Brooklyn, New York, where I'm from, and I live with my husband Dennis and our adorable cat Bella. And as always, I'm so happy that you're taking some time out of your day to chat about all those things with me. And yes, a big thank you to everybody who has introduced themselves in the YarnGasm Ravelry group. Please feel free to join. It's a really fun thread where you can join to partake in all the knit-alongs that we're hosting, that I'm hosting or co-hosting, and I'll chat about a little bit of that stuff later. But yeah, it's definitely a really fun group. Feel free to join in. And I will just pop on the screen right here where you can follow me on the interwebs. I am Voolenvine pretty much everywhere, and most active on Instagram. I have been neglecting the Snapchat, I will admit, but I am on there if you'd like to follow me. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. It's the best way to get a quick response if you have any questions. So there's that. And then, yeah, some other avenues where you may follow me. Ravelry, obviously. So yes, a couple of announcements before I get into what I've been making this week. Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival is this weekend, and I will be totally honest, it snuck up on me. I put it in the calendar, it was on Google Calendar, and lo and behold, I don't think I even had a notification set for it, and before I knew it, it was coming up this week. And yeah, Casey from the Creative Musings podcast contacted me, and she wanted to know if I was going to go, and I'm like, oh my god, I had no idea it was this weekend. So yet unfortunately, sadly, it's not in the cards. Dennis is not going to be available to give me a lift. I do not, being a city girl, I don't have a driver's license. I know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, you guys. But, and I know I could probably carpool with somebody or just get my butt on a train and go up there, or a bus. But I will be totally honest, I'm feeling a little burnt out after this week. So I'm gonna call it and just hang low this weekend and just, you know, take the time to recharge and whatnot, and just stay by the sidelines and watch everybody's Instagram feeds of everybody who's going to Maryland Sheep and Wool having a blast. So yes, I really thought this was going to be the year, you guys. I have never been to Maryland Sheep and Wool, so I was like, this is going to be the year. I'm going to go this year. It didn't happen. There's always next year, so I'm not kicking myself in the butt about it. But anyway, I'm not going. So anyway, so yes, so that is one announcement. And the only other announcement that I have this week is to announce the giveaway, because we have one more promo code for Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade Designs Shawl Society 2. Helen has generously offered and donated 3 promo codes, and this is the third week that I'm giving away the third and final promo code, just in time because, drum roll, she just released the first pattern for Shawl Society 2, the Fairy Hill Shawl, and oh my gosh, you guys, it is beautiful. So congrats, Helen. It's absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to cast on. So as I mentioned, the YarnGasm Ravelry group is the place to be to join in on all of these knit-alongs and enter to win prizes. And I created a thread for the Shawl Society 2 subscription giveaway, and the prompt was to let me know how you know that spring has finally sprung. And the winner of the promo code is number 395, Nest Knitting, who says, for me, a sure sign that spring has sprung is when today is 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. It's sunny and beautiful out there, but there's no place to hide because the trees still don't have any leaves on them. Wink, ... Obviously, I live in Canada, so that is hilarious. But yes, congrats, Nest Knitting. I will PM you on Ravelry with your promo code, and yay! So yes, if you have not checked out the Shawl Society 2, please do so, because it's going to be a lot of fun. If you are not familiar with Helen Stewart's patterns, they're gorgeous, and as I mentioned, I'm hosting a Helen Stewart / Curious Handmade knit-along, where the idea is to knit any one of her patterns of your choosing, and it's a 2-month knit-along, and yeah, it kicked off April 1st, and it's going all the way until July 1st. So at the end of that, I will have another giveaway. Helen also sent me a a kit for her apple blossom socks, which is absolutely beautiful. And yeah, so you have that to look forward to, along with some other really fun prizes. So again, big thanks again and congrats to Helen for those wonderful prizes. And thank you to everybody who participated in this giveaway. You know, I hope I can help generate some interest in her patterns, because yeah, they really are beautiful and really fun to knit. I'm totally hooked and a little bit obsessed right now. But anyway, yeah, that said, I am gonna move along to what I've been making. Oh wait, I take that back, because I do have another announcement. You know, not to go on about knit-alongs, because I know some of you aren't really interested in knit-alongs, but I am co-hosting a mauve along with Shauna of Adelaide Cottage, and that just kicked off as well. So May 1st through July 1st, it's a 2-month knit along. May 1st through July 1st, we are co-hosting a knit along, and basically the idea is to bring out your mauve from your stash, or just knit anything mauve colored. And I think it's a genius idea, because if you know me, I am obsessed with mauve, and it's my favorite color. I wear a lot of it. Case in point, I have my Gashly Crumb featherweight cardigan on. Yeah, I really am obsessed with that colorway, or color in general. And if you're wondering what mauve really is, it's either like a muted purple or pink with brown undertones to it. Definitely, again, hop on over to the YarnGasm Ravelry group. There's a whole explanation and guidelines there. So yay, I'm super excited. And I posted about it on Ravelry. I'm sorry, at Ravelry and Instagram, and a lot of people are generating interest in it, so or showing interest in knitting along. So I'm excited, and yeah, I'm very glad that you guys are excited as well. So yes, double dipping, totally cool. Check out Shauna's podcast. She's Adelaide Cottage. I will link to it in the show notes, where I'll post everything that I chat about in this episode in the show notes, as I usually do. So yay, okay. That said, let's move on to what I've been working on. So for the Curious Handmade Knit Along, I am still plugging away on my snow melt shawl, which was a mystery knit along. That is no longer a mystery knit along. I'm slowly but surely making progress on this. I am very close to the finish line. My needles finally came, my high sharps, because if you recall last week I was using bamboo needles pretty much for the entirety of knitting this shawl. I was using clover bamboo needles, which were fine. I actually enjoy using clover bamboo or bamboo needles with single ply yarn. I just feel like the yarn and the wood, it's like a perfect, they work together very well. And yeah, but it got to the point where the length of my cord wasn't really holding all the stitches on. It was, but it was like everything was like all scrunched up. So I opted to purchase some high sharps, my knitting needles of choice. I love these things to no end, and they're my preferred. While the bamboo is fine on here, I prefer to use high sharps with these, or on any project really. But yeah, they're a dream. And yeah, now I can stretch out my stitches, and it's just really been wonderful working on it. But yeah, I'm in the home stretch. I'm on clue 5, and I'm basically just using colorway B, and then it's gonna end with colorway A. A. So here she is, snow melt shawl. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is going to be massive once it blocks out. And yeah, it's my hand-dyed yarn in Voolenvine yarns on the Nouveau base, which is a superwash, 100% merino superwash yarn in Poe, and then Moonburn, which was a club colorway. And then we have Aphrodisiac, which was a one-off free swim colorway that I dyed. But yeah, I love this shawl, you guys. I love it. I'm very proud of this piece, so I cannot wait to be finished with it. I think I have maybe about 5 more rows to go back and forth, and then I have over 500 stitches to cast off or bind off. So yay! You can tell I'm kind of dreading binding off 500 stitches, and I'm keeping it a surprise for myself. While I know the pattern has been consolidated into one full pattern, I've been knitting on it like clue by clue. I haven't been really looking ahead, other than the photos online. So if I had to guess, I'm thinking that it's an I-cord bind off, because the edges are I-cord as well. So that should be fun. So it's all in a morning's knit, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so that's where I am with my snow melt shawl. Yes. And then next up, then the other project that I'm knitting on for the Helen Stewart Curious Handmade Along are the apple blossom socks. And I have made progress on these. Dennis and I had to run a couple errands last weekend, so that involved a lot of car knitting. So I just decided, you know what, let's, ooh. Oh. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little snafu with my stitches. The needles came right off the stitches came right off the needles. But anyway, yeah, so I had a lot of car knitting and I managed to get make quite a lot of progress on my apple blossom socks. So here they are, and yeah, I'm knitting these concurrently, and the yarn is Nora George Yarns in her Thistle colorway. And she dyed this specifically for the Edinburgh Yarn Festival, which she so wonderfully gifted to me. And yeah, these are my Edinburgh souvenir socks, if you will. Happy Edinburgh souvenir memory socks, if you will. So yay, that's where I am. So I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Unlike with the pattern, I believe Helen Stewart calls for just a traditional heel flap, heel turn heel technique, and I stuck with my go-to sock heels at the moment, which is a Fish Lips Kiss heel. So here we are, and yeah, really loving these. These are pretty much, now that I'm done with the heel, these are just flying. So yay, hopefully next week I will have some finished socks to share with you, because now I'm behind on my box of socks, my socks for my box of socks, which is another knit along that I'm hosting. It's a year-long knit along. It kicked off January 1st, 2017, and it's going all the way to January 1st, 2018. And the idea is to knit at least 12 pairs of socks for the next year. And so, you know, you have a whole nice fresh box of socks to wear for the rest of the year and keep your feet toasty. So, but yes. YarnGasm Ravelry group, all the details are there. But yeah, right now I am currently behind because these are my 4th pair that I'm working on for the year, not including another pair that I knit for Dennis. So, but those don't count for my box of socks because it's a selfish knit along, my friends. Yes, so 4th pair, but I think once these are done, I'm going to treat myself to a plain vanilla pair of socks because I've been craving just a plain vanilla stockinette pair of socks. So that's what's going on the needles next. I have no idea what yarn I'm going to use, but I'm definitely going to stash dive because I have a lot of yarn that I have to work through. So it just keeps piling up. I don't know. So as it does usually when you're a knitter obsessed with knitting. Anyway, I'm rambling. But yes, so as I mentioned, to continue the conversation of Curious Handmade, because yeah, that's where it's going. As soon as I'm done knitting the snow melt shawl, I'm going to cast on the Fairy Hill shawl, which is the first pattern of the Shawl Society 2 collection. So yes, that is going on the needles, and in lieu of the mauve along that I'm co-hosting with Shauna of Adelaide Cottage, I'm going to be casting on appropriately with some mauve yarn. And this is some yarn that I purchased from Edinburgh Yarn Festival. It is Eden Cottage Yarns in her BFL sock colorway Cottage Originals, and it's this lovely muted, very delicate mauve shade. So I'm going to use this for the body and then this for the lace edging. So again, not mauve, but I think these two just pair so well together. And this colorway is Marigold. So yeah, see? There you go. So I think these just go so well together, and yeah, it'll just make for a really beautiful shawl. So yeah, there's that. And I'm also going to cast on, yes, for my second project for the mauve along, I'm going to cast on a pair of mauve colored socks. So yay. Okay. Moving along, I have some other stuff on the needles. Do I? I have my eyeball shawl, but I will be honest, I have not put a dent in that project this week because I'm still waiting for my second skein of La Bien-Aimée to come in the mail. That was an international purchase, and I have a funny feeling that it's either stuck in customs or my post office is not on its game. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody for commiserating with me last week when I went on a wee rant about my post office. Yeah, I put it in a complaint and they sent me a package slip in the mail, and I had to go to the post office and collect my needles at the post office, which was fine, but such a headache. But anyway, yeah, I'm glad to realize that I am not alone in this, and the mail system just stinks in general. But yes. Anyway, moving along. I have a segment. I guess I'm moving along to another segment. Yeah. Okay, we're moving along to another segment, which is a segment that has not made an appearance, I want to say, for about maybe a year, because it kind of, well, spinning. Spinning has fallen to the wayside significantly in the past year. Ever since I fell in love with sewing, it's just, I can only manage so many extracurricular hobbies at the same time, aside from knitting. But yeah, I had since been watching Squirrel Pie Productions, hosted by Tommy, which is an awesome podcast. I really adore Tommy. She is just so, like, her personality is just awesome. I love catching up with her every week. And she's hosting a mini scrap along, and I love the idea of this so much. She's been spinning. You can spin for the mini scrap along. You can knit from the mini scrap along, as long as you're using like scraps or minis from your stash or leftover yarn. You can just join in the fun. And she's been spinning a lot on her drop spindle, and so is Casey from the Creative Musings podcast. And they've just totally inspired me to pick up my drop spindle again, because why not? Why not? Like, what's spinning, taking some time to spin a little bump of fiber, and yeah, join in the fun. So I picked up I had this bat that, it was one of 3 bats that I purchased a long time ago. This is Deep Stash. I purchased it from Hobbledehoy on Etsy, and I'm a huge fan of Hobbledehoy fibers. She's just amazing with the color combinations that she comes up with. So this was one of 3 bats. I don't know what happened to those other 2 bats. I think it was like a start-stop type of thing, and I was just learning to spin. So those kind of bit the dust, if not pun totally intended. But I had 1 remaining bat, and I didn't want to ruin it, and I've just been keeping it in my stash. I'm like, you know what? I think the time has come for me to spin this, and that is what I have done. So I believe it was like a 1.5 ounce bat, and it was absolutely beautiful. I'll try and post a photo of what it originally looked like. I posted a photo of it on Instagram in case you're curious, but here's where I am. Here's what it looks like on my drop spindle. And this is my Bosworth. This was a birthday present to myself, I want to say, like 2 years ago. It's a Bosworth spindle. I believe it's like of around 1 ounce, maybe like 1.2 ounces in weight, which is my preferred weight for drop spindling. And yeah, I've just been spinning, what else did I want to say? Yeah, so I spun 1 cop full, like when this is what you call the cop of a drop spindle. So once this was full, I just balled it off, and here's what it looks like. Almost looks like a bath bomb. I love the way this looks. So it's primarily like this deep plum purple with tiny hints of green and yellow in there, and then some a nice stripe of blue. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to keep it a single, but there's some part of me that just gets like such satisfaction out of plying yarn. I love plying yarn, seeing how the yarn comes together and everything. So I decided to wind this off and then just split it into 2, and I'm gonna 2-ply it. So I'm filling this cup up, and I have like just this much left to spin, and this I could totally spin in an afternoon, not even, you know. So I think, 2 more days and I'll be done with this. But this one I spun in pretty much, an afternoon, which I was surprised. I surprised myself. So that's where I am with this. I feel like I say that after talking about something that I've been working on. So that's where I am with that. That's where I am with this. Because, yeah, that's where I am. Here I am with this. Anyway, so I've been having a lot of fun with it, and yeah, it's definitely kicking. I definitely feel my spinning mojo coming back. Like, I just want to spin all the things after I'm done with this, because if this is how quick it took me to spin this up, just imagine how quickly I could spin the rest of this stuff up. Oh my gosh. And I have a loop bump that I've been hoarding for 3 years. I remember my parents got it for me for my birthday about maybe 3 years ago. I put it on my wish list, and my mom just like, here, have money, buy it. So so that's been sitting in my stash, and it's primarily mauve, so I might just contribute that to the move along. I don't know. But anyway, that's where I am with this. Not to repeat myself a million times, but and it's living in my project bag that Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick podcast gifted to me, and I love this project bag so much, you guys. I love it, Jill. Thank you. So yay, more spinning to speak of. But yeah, moving along to sewing. Sewing has, yeah, there has been some progress. If you can see in the back, I have pattern pieces cut out for another lady skater skirt. I'm sorry, lady skater dress, which is a jersey, as it suggests, just a jersey dress with a skater like circle skirt at the bottom. I love it. The pattern was really quick to whip up. It was a no-brainer. So total beginner pattern if you are just getting your feet wet with sewing. Highly recommend it. Of course, I will link to it in the show notes. So I have all the pattern pieces cut out. I think that will be a weekend project, you know, while I'm following everybody's photos from Instagram of Maryland Sheep and Wool. I can just be sewing and then like sitting on the sidelines weeping and being jealous of everybody at Maryland Sheep and Wool. But anyway, so that's my weekend project. And then the other sewing project that I did, let me go get it. So I don't even know, I guess this counts, but this past weekend I was kind of, you know, hanging out at my desk and realized that I have all these little notions and little doodads. While I do have little catch-all dishes for these things, somehow they just, little notions and bits and bobs just end up scattered all around my desk. And I'm like, I need like a notions pouch, like I can just plop on my desk and toss all this stuff in there. And I just whipped this little puppy up in under like 30 minutes or whatever. And yeah, it's just scrap fabric that I had lying around and super easy to whip up. The pattern that I used, I just took a piece of paper, 8 by 11, folded it in half, and traced four rectangles, two for the outside and two for the lining. Put some reinforcement, or I'm sorry, what do you call it? Ironed on some interfacing to the lining, and then just whipped it up. I even made a little tiny handle for it, and it's adorable. I love it. So yeah, really easy to whip up. I don't know, I might toy with the idea of making a tutorial. I say I'm going to make a tutorial for these things, but I never have the time to do it. But don't hold me to it, but I'm going to try if I have time. But yay, little notions pouch that I just plop on my desk, and it's awesome. It's very useful. So yeah, that is where I am with sewing this week. So yes, okay. I'm gonna move along to the next segment, which is mail. So speaking of mail, I had my dear friend, Gabby of the Once Upon a Corgi podcast. She works at David's Tees, and she has access to David's Tea swag and tees, and she wanted to know if I wanted any of them. And I was like, yeah, lady, hook me up. She said she had a couple more of these these are from Halloween. But she had a couple of those left over, and it's one of their color changing mugs. So when you pop hot water in here, the bats grow eyes, like their eyes start glowing, and then the road to the castle and the lights in the castle just light up. And if you know me, I love Halloween, I love bats and all things goth, so I was very happy to get my mitts on one of these because they sold out online. So girl hooked me up. She also hooked me up with some really awesome tea that I've been trying to get a hold of, which is strawberry cream pie. And oh my gosh, you guys, it is amazing. It's rooibos based, and one of my favorite flavors. My other favorite flavor is pumpkin cheesecake, but this definitely, and normally I don't like fruity flavored teas, but the fact that it's rooibos based, it doesn't taste too fruity. It's more like a raspberry vanilla rooibos flavor. So I'm really digging it. So yay, thank you, Gabby. But that's not all. She also, she called it extra peanut packing in the box, because, you know, why be wasteful and use real peanut packing when you can use yarn to cushion a mug and tea. And she sent me some yarn, and I love this colorway so much. She's really good at naming her colorways too, and I love this one. It's called Mermaids Don't Run Track. So yeah, totally mermaidy. I love like this little, I don't know if you can see that, this little patch of, it's very Ariel from The Little Mermaid. That's what it makes me thinking of. That's what it reminds me of. And it's her Marie Cutie base, which I love. It's 75% superwash Corriedale, 25% nylon, and yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, Gabby. I really, really love it, and I can't wait to find a project for it. And the next thing I got in the mail, you're gonna hear some crinkling, so stay tuned, but Sharon from the Knit Style podcast. Knit Style podcast and Knit Style Yarn. She's one of my really good friends that I've been friends with for a while. I want to say ever since I started going to Rhinebeck, or got serious about going to Rhinebeck, we've been friends. And yeah, highly recommend her podcast. She's awesome, and her husband Rich joins her sometimes, and they are a hoot. You guys, they are awesome. So definitely check out her podcast. But she reached out to me. She's been doing these kits with her friend Donna, who also has an Etsy shop called Donna's Designs, and she caught wind of my move along and wanted to donate a prize which she thought would go perfectly with the move along, and she could not be more right. So she wanted to send me 2 of these kits, one for me, which is super generous, and one for you lovely viewers partaking in the move along. And yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. Because it's gonna be impossible for me to show both of them, so I'm gonna take one for me out of the bag. But so she dyed this beautiful, beautiful skein of yarn. Let me see, it's her chic sock, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon, and the colorway is Fairy Fantasy. And yes, definitely lots of flecks of mauve in there, and it's just really, really beautiful. I love it. And then, of course, to match for the kit is a fairy project bag. I love this. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is really, really beautiful. It has like a super awesome handle. Look at that. Look at that. How awesome. I love it. And let me see the inside. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad, because I was looking on I actually didn't look on the inside yet, but I'm so glad Donna included a label, because that really kills me. Like when I get a project, when I receive a project bag and there are no labels on it, I don't know who made it. I think if you are making project bags or anything that you make, you should put your stamp on it, your mark on it. Let people know who you are. Otherwise, it's like, where did this come from? But yeah, Donna's Designs, she's a fairly new Etsy shop as well, so really beautiful stuff. She has more kits on, Sharon has more kits on her Knit Style, in her Knit Style Etsy shop, so of course I will post a link to that as well. So thank you so much, Sharon. She asked me if I wanted her sparkle base or her just plain merino base, and I chose the plain merino, and the sparkle skein will be going to one of you lovely viewers. So yay, super excited about that. So yeah, another awesome mail week. So I'm gonna move along to shop update because I will be having a shop update tomorrow, Friday, May 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. So yeah, I hope you can make it. And here's just a little preview of what's gonna be in the shop tomorrow. So as I mention every week, I'm probably gonna dye some more yarn today and tomorrow. So this is just what I have dyed so far. So let me get my magical bucket of yarn over here. So I actually went deep into the Voolenvine Yarns colorway recipe archives, if you will, and just kind of brought back this one colorway that I don't know, I remember dyeing. It was really popular for a while, but I just for some reason haven't dyed it in so long. But that is Lady of the Lake, and I kind of gave it, like, I had the recipe written down and I remember the colorway, and let me see if I can get that to focus. I remember the colorway and I just wanted to tweak it ever so slightly, just to give it a little more personality than it originally had. But here it is on Nouveau, and here it is on Volca. And as usual, I will have these dyed across several bases. I'll have it on Nouveau, Volca, Blitzed, and Footsie. So hop on over to voolenvineyarns.com and you can find all the base information if you're curious. But yeah, so Lady of the Lake, really happy to bring this back. Again, I'm trying to dye more blues because I don't have many blues in my shop, so really excited to have that back. And then I also dyed Sweet Dreams, which I do dye from time to time. It's a really beautiful colorway that I love. And you know, because it's spring and going into summer, I'm trying to dye a lot of brighter colorways and just kind of holding off on the more, you know, darker colorways until fall rolls around again. So yeah, just if that makes any sense. So but yeah, so here we have Sweet Dreams, and here it is on Volca, and here it is on Footsie. that. And then I will have some more fairy hair. That was a colorway that I took a break from dyeing for a while, but I will have that in the shop again this week. So here it is on Nouveau, and here it is on Blitzed. Same gold Stellina. Yay! And then I will have some Fig Bash. So here it is on Nouveau, and here it is on, what is this? Footsie. I wasn't sure if it was Blitzed or Footsie, but yeah, it's Footsie. So there it is. And then, so yeah, as I mentioned, that's what I have dyed so far. Going to dye some more. I'm gonna do my best to dye some more Grim, and I'm not sure what other colorway I'm gonna dye, but it should be it should be a shaded solid because I have a lot of speckles right now. But before I move on to blather and whatnot, I want to share with you the club colorways because the sock yarn club has come to an end. It's over, and everyone should have their colorways by now. If you don't, spoiler alert, you're gonna see the last colorway, so look away. But yeah, so thank you so much again to everybody who subscribed to that. I had a lot of fun coming up with these colorways, and I hope you enjoyed the colorways. And I haven't decided if I'm going to release either of these as or any of these as like a regular. I kind of want to keep them as like a one-off, but if there's a lot of demand, and I will, especially this one that I'll show you in a second. But yeah, I might just keep these just one-offs, but we'll see. But here they are. So this was the first. I should switch it around so you can see them in order. So this was the first colorway. It still has one of my old labels on it. This is Moonburn, which I used in my, which I used in my snow melt shawl. This was the second, Gatekeeper, which is kind of like this really fun dark rainbow colorway that I came up with. I really like this one. And then this was the last one. This one I had a super amount of fun coming up with. I just went a little crazy because yeah, again, I don't have too many greens in the shop, so I wanted to play around with some, fun dyes, and I came up with this. And this is Tequila Mermaid. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, yeah, Tequila Mermaid. Yeah, and very happy with the way this turned out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy those. And I will be announcing another yarn club, hopefully not this month, but next month in June. So stay tuned for that. I just want to, kind of take a little break, take a breather, because I am working on the collaboration that I'm doing with Kelsey from Primrose Yarn Company. We're both dyeing up 2 colorways in collaboration, and yeah, she's gonna have some of my yarn in her shop, and I'm gonna have some of yarn in her shop. Just these 2 very limited edition colorways. So you have that to look forward to as well. We're gonna get those up on our sites on June 5th. So cannot wait. Yeah, and Kelsey's awesome. So really excited to be working with her. So yeah, that, my friends, is it for shop update. I hope you can make it. Again, it's tomorrow, May 5th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, and I'll see you there. And that is pretty much it for the show, guys. I am gonna move along to Blather, where I chat about what's been going on in my life, should you care to stick around and hear about it. Yeah, it's been another busy week of dyeing yarn. I got a new office chair. I don't know if you can see, because the other one, bless its soul, has bitten the dust, and one of the legs, the swivel wheels on it, just popped right off. So I had gone, I think, about 2 weeks with just a chair that I would sit in and then occasionally fall over, like not fall over, but just like that. And I was like, all right, I cannot put up with this. But again, not enough hours in the day to say, okay, I have the time to go online and look for a new office chair. So Dennis actually wanted me to take me to go see office chairs in person. We went to World Market, we went to Bed Bath & Beyond, we went to Staples or whatever. Anyway, nothing was really appealing to me. And World Market did not have any office chairs there in person, because they just opened a World Market in Brooklyn. I'm excited. I love World Market, you guys. I could spend a day there. I could probably sleep there, but anyway, and live there, but that might be TMI. But anyway, yeah, so I got home and pretty much spent all of Saturday afternoon browsing Target and all these other websites, and finally settled on this chair. It's white, it's tufted, I love it. It was on sale. I think I got it for like, I don't know, 60 bucks, whatever. I was sold. So it finally came yesterday. I assembled it this morning and I love it. The only downside is, well, it also has swivel wheels. It's very swivelly, and I kind of, if you remember, like when one of the first episodes I recorded when we first moved in here, this floor kind of slopes back. So, okay, if I'm not careful, if I sit in it the wrong way, I kind of, so I think I have to just start dropping scraps of yarn on the floor like I have been, and occasionally the wheels will just pick it up and it'll just stop swiveling as much. So, I don't know, sounds like a crazy plan, but it's one that works. Yeah, anyway. So yay, new office chair. Life achievement unlocked. I feel more professional in it. It's fancy and white, whatever. But the other awesome purchase that I've made this week is a magic bullet. What is that, you ask? Yeah, so I am not a breakfast person, but I am a huge fan of smoothies. Normally in the morning, I either have yogurt or just kind of like, you know, breakfast smoothie, protein powder and almond milk and, you know, whatever else I want to add to it. And yeah, so I finally treated myself to a magic bullet, which is kind of, it's a small personal blender almost. Again, not endorsed, just a fan, but this thing is amazing. It's a total game changer. And every morning I got like a thing of chocolate protein powder from Whole Foods, and then, you know, I just stuff it with ice. I put a banana in it, sometimes raspberries or blueberries, and then, you know, just mix it up and I have a breakfast smoothie, and I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. So, you know, if you're into that, definitely check it out. But you can make so much more with it too. It actually came with a recipe book, so you can make guacamole, you can make salsa, you can make pretty much anything in there. And I love watching those infomercials on TV because you can pulverize. Like, I love it when they use the word or the term pulverize. You can pulverize anything, and they show you just like taking anything and turning it into liquid form, and I don't know why, that just cracks me up. I'm so amused by it. I want to just pulverize all the things. So anyway, I know, I'm just spewing out what's in my brain right now, but yeah, so Magic Bullet, I give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out if you are into that type of thing. So another thing that I've been into these days, or I'm getting into, I haven't started reading it yet, but several viewers have may be aware of this book. I've never heard of it before, but they've mentioned it to me, and they've like, you know, if you love mauve, you should totally read this. It's entitled Mauve. Mauve, How One Man Invented a Color That Changed the World by Simon Garfield. So this is my required reading for the Mauve Along. I, you know, started reading a couple pages, and I will be totally honest, it's been a while since I've read, well, I do read. Obviously I listen to more audiobooks because that's the only way I can really get any reading done while I work, you know. But yeah, it's been a while since that I can remember actually reading a tangible physical book. Mainly it's either on a Kindle or an audiobook. So yeah, I purchased this book and I am very excited to read it. I definitely want to get into reading more physical actual books. So this might be a gateway drug into doing that. And it's only 100 what is it? Yeah, it's like less than 200 pages long. There's no reason why I can't finish this in a week. I'm gonna be totally honest, it's gonna take me about 3 weeks to finish this, just because, again, not enough hours in the day. It may just become bathroom reading, I don't know. But anyway, yay, very excited to dip into this. Highly recommend it if you are into this type of thing. But yeah, Mauve. So as far as other things that I'm into this week, I'm hopping on the journaling bandwagon again. I've actually just hardcore just started pulling out a random notebook and just journaling, you know, once in the morning and once at night, just trying to make it a habit because there are a lot of things going on in my head and I just kind of want to dump it all out there, you know, just get it on paper and just declutter my brain at the end of the day and the beginning of the day. So I'm really just trying to implement that as like a regular daily thing that I do every day. So yeah, yay journaling. And again, I've been searching high and low for a practical journaling method for myself. I know some people do the bullet journal, some people just do a commonplace journal, which I've been trying to do, and honestly, it's just really hard to find that niche journaling tactic. So I'm just going basic. I found like a notebook in my on my bookshelf, just plain notebook, and just started writing things down, whatever came to mind. I just give myself like 10 to 15 minutes and get it all out. So that's what I'm doing. And as far as podcasts are concerned, I want to say like a lot of people contact me about, without getting into too much detail, but you know, whatever. But a lot of people, viewers, do contact me wanting to know, you know, how to get started with their craft business and how to do certain things. And while I would love to help you guys and, you know, sit down and give you like one-on-ones, I do get a lot of these emails, and it's just, there's no, again, like finding the time to sit down and answer each particular situation is just not happening. Not now, at least. But anyway, if you are a maker and selling your stuff online, I highly recommend checking out some podcasts, because I definitely fall down a rabbit hole of like listening to all these, you know, entrepreneur podcasts on iTunes. One of my favorites right now that I'm listening to is called Being Boss, and it's these two girls. They're entrepreneurs. I think they're in their 30s. Anyway, they're very successful and they have a podcast, super fun to listen to, and their podcasts are just like treasure troves of information and tips and tricks just to, you know, get your business started, keep it afloat, and things that you can do to market it. And I have just been binge listening to it while I work. And yeah, I could not recommend them more. So, you know, again, if you have an Etsy shop, or you're thinking about starting an Etsy shop, or, you know, your own online business with, you know, crafting and dyeing or sewing or what have you, check this podcast out, because they are awesome. They're hilarious. It is explicit. They do swear a lot on the show, which does not offend me, but might offend you, especially if you have little ones around. But give them a listen. Again, I will post a link to that in the show notes. And then the other thing that I've been listening to, because ever since that one Ask Me Anything question that I received about tarot cards, I had kind of put that on the wayside. Like, it was just something I was dabbling in. But I became more interested in it, actually. It just kind of like reignited my interest in tarot. So, you know, I've just been every day doing a little one card reading, you know, just to gain perspective on my day. Like, what do I need to know for today? So I draw, you know, shuffle the deck, draw a card, and then just say, okay, you know, I'm gonna have that kind of outlook on my day today, or just be wary, you know, this X, Y, or Z might be something to look out for. So it's just, you know, again, there's no voodoo or woo-woo around it, that I just kind of use it as a way to tap into my gut feelings or my intuition, or, you know, my subconscious, just to gain perspective on my day, or just anything that might be bothering me, or I have a question about. Just a way to kind of dig a little deeper into what's happening up here, and sometimes in here. I don't know. But yeah, so in conjunction with that, I have been listening to another podcast, which is awesome if you are interested in learning more about tarot. It's called Biddy Tarot. And yeah, it's just like a how to get started guide. She also goes into how to get started with your own tarot business, but that's not my game. So I'm just in it for, you know, just the tips and tricks and how to learn how to be a better tarot reader for myself. So yeah, check that out. That might not be everyone's cup of tea, but you know, I find it entertaining and a good resource. So yeah, other than that, I think that is it. I've been watching Harlots on Hulu every Wednesday, which I love that show. It's, again, not a show for everybody, because it's quite scandalous and you know, risque, but the costumes, I love the costumes. They are absolutely amazing. I wish I could dress like that every day, but yeah. So check out Harlots if you're interested. And the other show that I've been watching is Once Upon a Time. It's still going strong, but I feel like that show has just given up on a cohesive plot line. They're just the writers of that show are just flying by the seats of their pants. Flying by the seat of their pants with that storyline, because I feel like every week it's just, there's no rhyme or reason to what happens on that show. It's crazy, but for some reason I'm hanging in there and I'm entertained by it and watching it, and you know, whatever. I love it. I love that show. I will never get tired of it. So anyway, I think that's it for this week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and chatting about all the things YarnGasm and Voolenvine and knitting, and yeah, so it's been fun. So that's it. I hope you guys have been getting lots of knitting and crafting done this week. I hope you have a fun weekend planned ahead. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And if you choose to celebrate. Be responsible. That's all I ask. Yes, so that said, happy knitting, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Peas and carrots, peas and carrots, peas and carrots. So as I mentioned, the YarnGasm Ravelry group